Hello there. This is an astrological forecast for Cancer for November of 2012. And this also applies if you have a Cancer ascendant. So, my dear Cancerians, the first thing to say is that we have a Mercury retrograde this month from the 5th to the 25th of the month. And it's falling in your 6th house of work and service and health. So the retrograde always means it's time for finishing up things. It's a wonderful time for completing a project maybe you've been doing at work. Wonderful time for finishing it, but not the best time for beginning something new. It's certainly a good time to get into place some good work routines, some good systems. You might want to reinvent some systems that you've got going in your work area. It's also a time to reinvent how you take care of your health and your physical body. Now, we've got Venus in your 4th house this month for the first 3 weeks of the month. So this is a lovely time just for, Cancerians, you're going to love this, spending time at home, maybe doing a little bit of redecorating, just something nice at home. If your parents are with you, nice time. Should be quite harmonious with parents and loved ones. Just a nice time in the home, particularly a quiet time. Cancerians, you need to watch out any sweet or heavy fatty foods with Venus in that 4th house. You are going to be drawn to be doing that. Maybe just eating without noticing that you're eating sometimes, just for the comfort of it. Because Cancer, your sign, does rule the breasts, the stomach, the digestion, all those things where we feel nurtured. So just make sure you're not overdoing it. The big thing this month, the biggest thing this month, and maybe this year, is that we have a solar eclipse, a total solar eclipse, on the 13th of November in Scorpio. It's falling in your 5th house. Now, a solar eclipse, the effects of it last for at least 6 months. And usually there's a big event. It's a crisis very often is stimulated. Crisis, of course, brings about an opportunity, usually. So for you, with it being in your 5th house, it could be the birth of a child, it could be conception of a child, it could be a marriage, it could in fact mean a new business, you coming up with a new business idea and actually starting that new business during this, the vibration energy of this solar eclipse. It's a wonderful time for anything creative, maybe publishing a book, signing up for an album, performing something. This would be a wonderful time to start the wheels in motion during this new moon solar eclipse in Scorpio in your 5th house. But a lot happening for you around your creativity. This is really the time, Cancerians, there's no getting away from it. This is time to focus on that creative side of you. Not to shy away from it. Not to think maybe I'm not good enough, I'm not ready. Fine if you need to do some studying. Fine if you want to do some learning. But so many of you are so intuitive, you're ready to be musical, artistic, to make things, to manufacture something, to create a new business. It doesn't have to be arty-farty. It could be something quite scientific that you are creative about. But it's time to bring that creative flair that you have right out now. So I think you're going to be very busy at work. Mars is in that house as well of work for this for the first couple of weeks of the month. I think you're going to be very busy. I think you might not particularly like working with some of the people you're working with and try to be as autonomous as you can. That will be easier for you. Make sure you're not bottling up your feelings and your emotions. Tendency to do that sometimes. With Mars there, you might need to just do some physical activity. I'm not saying just blow up at work, that might not be appropriate, but do something physical, good time to do that. Towards the end of the month, we've got Mars and Pluto close to each other in your 7th house of relationship. This could be some issues in relationships coming up, issues around power, control, you feeling controlled by somebody, you're not liking that very much, needing to break out. You might find it hard to compromise with something. Well, very often with these two aspects in your 7th house, it could be a time just to wait until next month when the energy is easier in that house of relationship. before you make any rash decisions or before you suddenly speak out. Or it's also a good time just to really be looking at your relationships carefully, deeply. And there's a strong possibility that somebody very powerful can come into your life, and you will need to be just as powerful and just as strong in making sure you're getting your needs met in this new relationship. So it could be a very exciting relationship, but one where you're going to have to stick up for yourself and be very strong. So there you have it, my dear Cancerians. I wish you a great month. Thank you for favoriting, for passing on the videos. I do appreciate it. And of course, I'm delighted to hear from those of you that want to come for readings or ask a question maybe about what this solar eclipse is going to mean for you over these next 6 months to a year in your personal life. Thank you for listening. Have a great month. Bye for now.